Over the course of the past few years, I've had the honor of interviewing literally hundreds of the greatest minds in the world, from Tom Bilyeu and Anna Lemke to John Lee Dumas, Jordan Harbinger, Caroline Leaf, Dr. Gabor Mata, Damon Burton, Leslie Logan, and more. And to tell you the truth, one of the things that I always knew coming into not only creating Think Unbroken podcast, but what it is that Think Unbroken is today, is that it was about more than just mental health. I look at life kind of as this triad, and that's health, wealth, and relationships. And I've always felt if we could bring those three things together, where you have alignment with your mission, your vision, your values, with your wants, your needs, your interests, with who it is that you are as a human being, that you could overcome anything. I believe that for myself. I believe that for other people. I've witnessed it time and again with the thousands of people who have come through coaching with me. And I've seen it in the lives of the people who just simply show up and listen to this podcast every single week. And one of the things that I know to be true about that triad is it's not only just the element of mental health that has to be at the forefront of the conversation. And so as we continue to head down the path of Think Unbroken, one of the things that you are going to see is that we are going to be creating new content. Now, I don't mean new content in terms of like social media, but what I mean is more subject matter expertise content. For example, you will see we're about to launch the Unbroken Men podcast as a part of the Think Unbroken network. That show is going to be exclusively around a conversation about men's mental health. I believe that we live in a dire time right now when it comes to being men, where we need more support, where we need more community, and where we need more conversation about this journey. You may or may not know this, but the leading cause of death for men aged 35 to 45 is actually suicide. We're living in a very dark time when it comes to men's mental health. And so as a man who is obviously a proponent of mental health and someone who believes in it because I've seen the impact that it's had in my life, we'll be releasing that show under the Think Unbroken network. So you'll be hearing me introducing shows a little bit differently depending on what they are. Another show that we'll be introducing is Unbroken Love. This show is going to be about dating, relationships, and sex. The elements of the human experience that many of us crave, desire, want, need, and are also the worst at. I raise my hand as being guilty as one of those people, but knowing the possibility for growth, for expansion, and for learning in that space is unlimited. So be on lookout for Unbroken Love. Another show that we'll be releasing very soon, for those who are interested, will be Unbroken Wealth, which is a show about creating financial freedom and independence, whether as a person in the day-to-day life trying to figure out how to navigate the world, or someone who is an entrepreneur or business owner. Now, as you may know my story, once upon a time being a homeless kid to making $1 million by the time I was 25, to running multiple businesses now as I head towards the latter half of my 30s, I know a thing or two about money, and I want to be able to help and guide people like you down that path. So be on the lookout for Think Unbroken Wealth. Now, the cornerstone to this entire network in the last handful of years and over 700 episodes, Think Unbroken, will continue to exist. We will still have conversations about mental health, about understanding and overcoming childhood trauma, and we will continue to interview the greatest minds in the world. However, again, we are expanding because I believe it's so incredibly important. When you truly break down life, I look at it as this triad. You have health, wealth, and relationships. And I want to make sure that we cover all those at the best level that we can, constantly doing our due diligence as a company, because I know that if we can help you get an alignment in all three of those areas, your life will truly be unbroken. So many people find success in one, maybe two areas, but it's very rare when you come across someone with all three. Yet, I know for myself personally and many people around me and in my life and in my inner circle, it is possible to have alignment in health, wealth, and relationships. Even if you've come from a traumatic background, even if you've been through the worst pains that the world and the universe has to offer you, it is still for you. And so as we continue to grow this show, to grow this audience, to grow this network. I want you to know that when you hear these new intros to these shows, it is still Think Unbroken. It is just an elaboration on the most important cornerstones and elements of this human experience. Also, for me, it's about interviewing and continuing to connect with the greatest experts and minds in the world. Because the truth is, the reason that I created this show was so that I can learn. As a kid who really was set up for failure, who should not be here with you right now, I knew that I could become a man capable of being the man I am today if I surrounded myself with the right people. And that's what's brought me, that's what has brought me here today. And so even though I am still learning, and I encourage you to learn alongside with me, I want you to know that the core of Think Unbroken is not going away. And in fact, we are just growing and expanding rapidly. And so instead of catching you off guard and just dropping a random show on you, I want you to know that's coming. You are going to see changes. You are going to see growth. You are going to see us do everything within our power to really make an impact at a global level to help people get unstuck, to get out of self-doubt, like the thing that cripples us, and to build confidence, finding supporting evidence to become the person that they're capable of being. And so I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. I thank every one of you who listen to this show, who deal with the ads, who read the listen and keep the reviews, who subscribe on the social media channels, who send me your feedback, who come to the events, who buy the books. Like, it means the world to me, because at the end of the day, this is really about us as a collective. This isn't a Michael specific thing. I just happen to be at the forefront of it, but there are a lot of moving pieces behind this and a lot of people that it takes to make this happen. And you are a part of that as well. And so it is with gratitude and appreciation that I leave this message for you today. I'm looking forward to the future of Think Unbroken and the impact that we're going to have, because I know and I believe in my heart, like, as wild as it sounds, even though we're like 7-8 years into doing this, I feel like I'm just getting started. There's so much ahead. There's so much that I want to teach you, and there's so much that I want to learn. And coming and doing it together is going to be the way that we create the massive change that we need. One last note before I let you go here is keep in mind that you can hop on a free coaching call with me at any time. If you're in a dark place, if you're struggling, if you're ready to go to the next level in your life, if you need community and support, if you really want to get out of self-doubt, if you want to build confidence, if you want to figure out how to get out of all of the behavioral patterns that makes your life broken, come and join me. Just go to thinkunbroken.com, where you can fill out a form to come and have a chat with me. My friends, I'm excited about the future. And until the next episode, be unbroken. I'll see ya.